Misogynistic men are more than just annoying, they're outright dangerous for women. These types of men crave male validation. That is why they're jealous of women. You see, the thing is they're codependent on women because they need women to fulfill their narcissistic, sociopathic identities. So misogynistic men need women for emotional regulation, and they are terrified of rejection. Most of them have really damaged and strained relationships with their mothers, but they form a codependent attachment to the mother's validation. They're extraordinarily shameful people, they're dishonest people, and they often, you talk about DL men, misogynistic men are most likely to be DL men as well. And so that's why it's not a shock when these hypersensitive, hyper alpha men get caught up on things like Grindr and stuff like that. That is very, very common. They have strained identities. The caricature that they portray themselves as, the strong alpha, is a cartoonish character, an idealized version of themselves that deals with the weakness, that deals with the sensitivity, that deals with the fact that they're threatened. They're terrified of real men. And so they're jealous. That is why these men are the ones that are always trying to get women to cheat. They're always trying to measure themselves. Everything's a competition. So how you can tell one of these weak-minded men is every conversation with men is a competition or a admiration-generating talk. They're either seeking approval, endless amounts of male attention and validation, or they're fighting. That's all they have. They're either being validated or they're fighting because they're so sensitive to any disalignment with their grandiosity. And so they perceive any disalignment with their grandiosity about their intellect or their physical form to be a threat. And so they can't have normal, healthy relationships with boundaries. But they're particularly dangerous for women because they're envious of the male attention that women get. And so while they're fueled by jealousy and envy in order to obtain women, they'll pursue you as if they really, really want you. And that's the mistake many women will make, is that the grandiosity, the false bravado, the confidence that they exude initially will seem safe. Like it seems like they would protect you with this aggression. But the aggression that they use to pursue you will then turn on you. Because you see, they'll never trust you because they have no core identity. They're completely codependent. They will degrade you. They will control you financially. They will do anything to manipulate you. They don't mind infecting you with vices. And they never, ever really have anything to stand on. Many of them do not have the kind of success that they tried to convey because they're like a child that's putting pieces of a puzzle together. You see, the woman is only a piece of the puzzle. And so it's like a child at the bottom of a sinking battleship that's running around trying to patch up holes while building the battleship bigger and bigger and bigger. Their grandiosity is like a cathedral that they're trying to build, and it's really like the Wizard of Oz, or the Cowardly Lion, where this roaring lion, really, there's nothing there. It's all bravado. It's like a Wheaties box with the Michael Jordan on the cover, but you open it up and there's not even Wheaties inside. Because they spend all of their cartoonish lives trying to portray themselves. They're always trying to become, and they never quite get there. And so the cars, the money, the businesses, the online antics, the fighting, it's all part of this presentation. They are a presentation of an idealized caricature that they've developed themselves to be to protect themselves. And they never got to be the man that they wanted to become. And that is why they're jealous, spiteful, envious, and miserable people. Absolutely miserable. The one characterization that you can always find with a pseudo-alpha like this is they're miserable people. They're never happy. They're never satisfied. They always have to be in some kind of competition or pursuit because they're always in this hyper-vigilant defensive state, a black and white thinker that lives out a life of narcissistic cartoonism. And that is all they are. And so, they're always in conflict, they're never satisfied, and they're absolutely dangerous to women. They're dangerous because they then completely depend on you for all of their emotional regulation. They strip away your autonomy, they're jealous, they possess you, and then they perceive every other man on earth is a threat because underneath all the bravado, they know they're utterly worthless. They're not valuable to women. They don't protect women. They protect their interest in women. And so women will confuse this person being controlling and protecting their own investment in the woman with being safe. And there's nothing less safe than a weak-ass wannabe alpha male that needs to pursue and possess and control in order to self-regulate. And so you're going to be browbeat into conformity. They're going to complain about you being too masculine. You see, these people that are obsessed with masculine femininity are trying to idealize a caricature that depends totally on your subordination. And so your autonomy, your individual identity is going to be something that's always a threat to them. They need you to behave in a performative way that is a feminine counterpart to the performance of their life. And anytime you express autonomy or any individuation, they're going to be threatened by it. And so this is a person that's trying to merge with their mother. They're going to try to convert you into their shaming mother. They're going to want a high conflict relationship. Some of them are secretly masochistic. And so this extraordinary level of fake bravado is going to really become a shame spiral that in many cases becomes a total codependent, meaning that this fake alpha, they might have financial problems, business problems, relationship issues out there navigating this world. And so you might find that this super confident person is just one transaction away from success. They just need your FICO score to help their business out. And they're gonna need your investment. They're gonna have some fantasies of ideal partnerships and, power couple dynamics. But the truth is they're parasitic, they're users. And many of them, even if some of them could be successful, but it doesn't matter because they're gonna drain you no matter what. And so these are the betas trying to become alphas or the new alphas. These are people that start taking anabolic drugs and testosterone injections. These are the people that have a midlife crisis and suddenly start growing a beard and chest hair and, want to now, tell the story about having become a man. And so this is a person that tries to become a man, and the becoming of a man is only dependent on the woman. And so they need a woman to both replace their devouring mother, as well as be an infinite cheerleader, as well as be a trophy, as well as be totally subservient. But at the same time, they still have all these expectations for you to maintain some alpha image publicly that both threatens them and keeps them feeling confident. And so you see all the contradictions within this person's being results in internal conflict manifesting itself as projection onto you. Write a comment if you made the mistake of finding yourself initially enamored by or safe by the false bravado of somebody that looked like they could be some kind of protective or providing man, and you found out that they were just a weakling, a total codependent, a phony, and just a hot air balloon of grandiose bullshit. Be careful. These people, they will shock you. How many of you even found that this dude had a Grindr account and you're like, what the hell? Now the shit starts making sense. That masculinity was just a little too manicured, just required a little too much grooming in the morning. So did your alpha male require more time in front of the mirror than you did as a woman, and that kind of shocked you? That they looked like you could throw a t-shirt on and just go party, and it turned out, no. This man, this man required more pruning and primping and combing and plucking than you ever expected. That those highlights, it took some time. That they go to a salon. It's like, wait a second, you're getting a mani-pedi, and you're an alpha. Like, what's going on here? Wait a second. Wait a second there. Nah, I'm sorry, tap out. No, we're calling a foul on these alphas.